Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Oakland Raiders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready to break.
57, Mike 57. And let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right
now.
On first down, Ford. Over the middle, complete. That's Young. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Operating from the gun, Ford. Open man and Switzer complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
2nd and 13. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one. And got his man complete. A big play there for Detroit. 42 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown, Detroit! As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the run, watch the run.
From the gun, Jones. And an alley to run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. Here's Jones on 1st down. They'll buy some time right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Hey, orbit.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones, complete. It's Johnson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Yeah. Single.
On 1st and 10, Jones. That one is caught by Hunt. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards there and a first down. Jones on 1st and 10. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about Drew.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down.
Hey, let's go.
So let's see what this is about.
Let's get this.
Now, hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
18 Gator.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Young. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 10-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Ford. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Looking to throw. Ford. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Ford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football.
Ready.
But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Hey, echo. Hurry up, get it.
On 3rd down, Ford. Now he'll go deep down the middle. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Let's go, baby.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Here's a first down throw that's complete. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Hey, wahoo! Shoot!
Back to throw. Ford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Roman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Ford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Jones to throw again. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Jones. Catch is made by Hurd. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
And here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Throwing Jones. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check 99.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Switch.
On the run, this is Hunt. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
90, Wolf.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. On that sideline, they're saying that was more like it. The first down run went backwards, that time into the end zone.
And I like their little bit of courage in play calling, too. Because after an unsuccessful run, especially one where you lose yardage, you oftentimes go right to throwing the football. They came right back with a running play, and it paid off handsomely.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Young. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down. Ford. And that will be incomplete. That one broken up by David Long on the defensive end.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Looking to throw. Ford. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. only way to play good defense.
He's going to fire one deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. 4. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Go now. 60 outlaw.
65, 65, 65.
Go.
57's left. Coming to you, coming to you.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Check 52.
Recon, 132 fighter. Shoot.
Jones now. Going to throw again. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. It'll go as a loss of a yard on what should be the final play of the first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on first down. Jones. Man open. It's Goodwin. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. And a loss here as he's taken down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And the catch made by Johnson. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though.
Here we go.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to try and throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Go out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
And it's a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Ready, break.
Here's Jones on 3rd and 2. And he completes it to Hunt. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Two draw quarters.
They'll try and throw for it here. Able to find Waller. That's complete. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Again, it's Miller. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Escaping the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Young. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a 1st down. On 1st down, Ford.
They all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. From the gun on third down. Ford caught by the tight end Ertz. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Raider D, they get the football back.
Chopper! Ready?
Jones throwing on first down. His throw incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. General West. Hey, orbit, now.
On 1st and 10, Ford. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Ford. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right? And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Don't throw this way.
So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, That means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive.
Let's go, heavy.
Now Jones throwing after the interception. Looking deep downfield and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
60 Pittsburgh.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jones now throwing again. Johnson's got it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Ford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun. Ford able to find Switzer. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put it in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Come on, set. 15, line. 15 line. 61, matchbox, right.
Check. Crunch. He's checking.
Look at me. Go.
Check that.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. On fourth down, Ford throwing right, and that's complete. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
18 Gators.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
That's where you belong.
So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So now this one's going to rest on the foot of their second-year kicker. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year, but he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Lions, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll